ground, although you really can't tell looking behind me. But I have a wedding up here this weekend, doing a couple things. We're gonna test this little contraption that I got for the Z30 to see does it cut down the wind. Right now, I'm talking to you without it on, and I want to see what the internal mics of the Z30, how they perform as well. But let me stop the video and come back with this on and see if there's a change. And we'll talk about what we're going to talk about this week. We're going to talk about. You know what? You get what I'm saying. I'll be right back. Bye. I said bye. All right, guys. As you just saw, I bought this little contraption for the Z30. What is it? Well, it's a small rig, dead cat as some people call it, or wind muff. It goes on the cold shoe. It covers the two the stereo microphone inputs on the Z30, and just should cut down the wind. It's a little windy here right now, so I'm hoping that I can test this. You guys can probably tell already, but wanted to test to see how this is going to perform as we vlog this wedding we're going to shoot this weekend. And what this video is going to be more about is how do the Nikon systems hold up in freezing temperatures during a full day wedding shoot. We're going to shoot a wedding with the Z8 and the Z6 II. I'm going to be using the MC105 macro lens for some long portraits, and also for some ring shots, flat lays, anything macro. And then we're going to use the 50mm for the couples portraits, and the 24-to-120 f4 S-glass for your group shots. How does everything perform in freezing temperatures during a snowy environment where it's going to be super cold, outdoor winter wedding? My buddy really wanted to shoot a wedding or have a wedding up here, so here we are. Let's do it. All right, guys, I'll see you in a minute. Hey everyone, so I'm at the venue. We're at the rehearsal. I wanted to scope out things, get an idea for some good location spots like this one behind me. Nice pretty tree backdrop, a little bit of snow on the ground. It's about 40 degrees right now, and by the time we get to the wedding ceremony time, it should hit 50, and then it'll drop back down as soon as the sun goes down. So it's going to be a cold day, but not as cold as I thought originally. We're still going to see how these Nikons perform in cold weather, outdoor, up in 12,000 feet of elevation. I think right now we're at about 11,000 feet. So it's going to be an interesting experience and an experiment, to say the least. So I'll try to check back in with you once we get started here. I'm going to do the getting ready photos at the Airbnb, and then we're going to come back to the venue to start the ceremony in a few hours. All right, I'll catch you on the next one. See ya. All right, guys, I'm wrapping up out here. Just finished the grand entrances, getting ready to do the first dances, cake cutting, whatnot. But so far so good. Everything's held up. I've had one slowdown with the Z6 II that I'll talk about later, but so far so good. Just checking in. I'll see you when I get back home and we recap how everything went. All right, see ya. Hey everyone. So I'm back from the wedding. I just got finished editing the photos from the entire wedding using Lightroom. Spoiler alert, they came out fantastic. Probably my favorite wedding to date. It was really nice to work with someone who's also a photographer, so we understood the need to get the shot. He planned his group wedding party shots around the sunset, and he was willing to kind of go out of his way and go to some places which you'll see in the sample photos. And we had to climb up a little hill and over to find some snow. We wanted some snow in the background. It started melting, so it turned out phenomenal. Dreamy photos. The Z8 performed fantastic. It had no issues throughout the entire day of grabbing focus, grabbing those quick shots. When you need to be on your feet and on your P's and Q's when it comes to a wedding. You can't miss a shot, especially the first kiss. and I nailed it. Very happy with the results of the Z8. I used primarily the 51.8 on there, which you'll see in some of the photos that I'm going to share, as well as I did at the end of the night put the 24-120 f4S glass on the Z8, just because I wanted that autofocus in the low light, and I needed that zoom range throughout the night, because it was a pretty small room. At least some of the rooms were in the reception hall. So I took off the 58-1.8 and put on the 24-120, and I just set the Z6 aside. It performed well. If anyone's familiar with the Z6, the autofocus isn't nearly as good as the Z8. However, it's still a great camera, produces fantastic images, as you'll see in some of the photos. Some of the wide-angle group shots were all shot with the Z8, the 24-120 f4 rather. Really no complaints, other than when it got cold after the sunset, it dipped into the 30s and 20s. I had some sluggish performance out of the Z6 II. I ended up replacing the battery. It was down to 1 bar, maybe 2 bars. It was running around that range. It could have been turning it on and off. It could have been the battery, but I use all Nikon batteries, all Nikon glass. Even my flash is an SB 5000. Love that flash. As you'll see in some of the photos, it exposes fantastically using TTL, which is through the lens exposure. It's a great setup, but the Z6 II did get sluggish when the temperature dropped, and I had to turn it off, turn it back on. After that, it performed fantastic. No other issues other than that. So the answer to the question, does Nikon handle the cold? Can it deal with cold weather? Can it perform a full day, 8-12-hour wedding? I think we started at 10 a.m. and I left at 9, so 11-hour wedding, I should say. Yes, absolutely can. Used 3 batteries, 2 in the Z6 II and 1 in the Z8. No issues whatsoever with the flash. The flash performed fantastically as well in the low light. I used it actually for fill flash in some of the portraits, which you'll see scattered throughout the video, and it performed fantastically there. I had to do minimal adjustments. I applied my presets in Lightroom, which I've developed over the years for different systems as I've transitioned. And I just kind of fine-tuned them for Nikon files, and boy, take a look for yourself. Welcome to hear your comments, but in my opinion, the photos came out fantastic. On top of that, we were testing the Z30 right here with this wind muff. As you saw in the first 2 clips, I filmed with this at the hotel. It handled the wind quite well. I think this is going to be my vlogging setup going forward. I'm filming right now on the Z8, mainly because I just wanted to see how well it films. I haven't used it yet to film anything. It's kind of a pain without the flippy screen, to be honest with you. If anyone has any suggestions for an external monitor, I'm all ears. Leave me a comment, and I'll take a look at some of your suggestions. Outside of that, I don't have a whole lot left to talk about. Coming in the next few videos, we're going to talk about lens performance, my preferred lens, and how they hold up in weddings and portraits and street photography. We're going to talk more about this Z30 as I vlog with it in Ireland in a week and a half. Any suggestions on any places in Ireland? Drop it in the comments. Any suggestions on anything you want me to do video-wise? Drop it in the comments. Send me a message. I'll be happy to take a look at it and go from there. But so far, so good on this setup. I'm enjoying it quite a bit. I'm enjoying this wind muff. I think it allows me not to have to use these external microphones, but I can just attach the external microphone, and right now it's on the cold shoe of the Z8. And I can still get that just a little bit crisper audio when I need it. But for vlogging, this small rig holds up. And in general, these Nikons hold up very, very well in the cold. They're probably the best weather sealed cameras I've ever had. I've gotten dust on my sensor and my Sony cameras during a storm. I've had issues even here and there with the Fuji systems, but these Nikon systems have held up well in the elements, and I didn't expect anything else, but it was a worthy test. So with that, I'll leave you with some more sample images at the end, and I will catch you in the next video. All right, thank you, and I'm out of here. See ya.